Hello and welcome to the very first Dulcimer Players News videocast. We're calling this DPNews Online. And for this very first one, Bing and I just want to talk to you about what it is that we're doing for the next year.
It's really exciting, Dan. I'm real stoked to be a part of the Dulcimer Players News family. And what we have here is just an opportunity to bring some weekly updates to the website on this videocast, which will include sneak peeks at what's happening at the festivals, some performances and interviews of players that you may know and recognize, and some players that you've probably never heard of before.
And I think we're thinking that between the two of us and anyone else who has a video camera who wants to bring us some video, we can spread the love of just all the fun stuff that's happening in the Dulcimer community. I kind of feel that with the technology that we have today, we're entering in this new era of the folk tradition.
Right, and when we're bridging a gap here, and we're including everybody and anybody who's got something that they'd like to share with their local communities. So it could be, someone who's gotten a brand new dulcimer, or your local dulcimer club has met together recently, or a festival that you went to, or some fantastic performance you've seen. And so just about everybody's got a video camera, or a camera phone, or even audio recordings. You can send that in to us, and we'll include that as part of this podcast every week.
And I guess we want to make sure that we we aren't setting the bar too high or too low in that. The equipment that we're using in this room, these are just cameras. My camera that is on the tripod in front of us I've had for 6 or 7 years at least. There's nothing fancy. We're not using any special clip-on microphones or anything. We're just using the mic. So don't feel like what you have isn't good enough. Do your best to get good shots and capture good events, but just get out there and play.
Yeah, and by all means, have fun with it and get creative with it if you like. Or you can just put the camera on a tripod. But I think the more fun you'll have, the more fun that everybody else watching the video cast will have as well.
Okay, Bing, what I want to hit here real quick is this is different from what you've been doing with your Dulcimerica cast. So how?
This is more about the community as a whole. And pretty much as possible, except for this first episode, Dan and I will be largely invisible and doing voiceovers and that type of thing. This is where we get to take the camera and turn it on the members of the community, the players, the teachers, and other folks who make up this fine circle of friends that we are as dulcimer players, which includes, of course, hammered dulcimer, mountain dulcimer, bowed dulcimer, and any other dulcimers out there. There are new types of dulcimers being made all the time. And
we're sort of doing this under the auspices of Dulcimer Players News. We really believe that in order for DPN to be viable in the future, it has to take advantage of what we all do just about every day, is use the internet in some way or work with video in some way. So I'm not ashamed to say this is a vehicle to help people learn about Dulcimer Players News, which also helps people learn about other dulcimer players, which connects our community. And we hope we'll pick up some subscribers from this, and we hope we'll also help you become a better player through this.
And we are reaching kind of a new audience because these videos will be seen through YouTube, and YouTube is just a huge growing. In fact, some exciting news has been coming down the pike about YouTube, where the videos will be available in a higher quality than they have been in the past, or you'll have the option of choosing a higher quality, so that you'll be able to see more detail, and it's a wonderful, beautiful world that we're living in the 21st century.
One of the things we hope happens with this videocast series is that it gets you familiar with players and festivals that maybe you don't know. For instance, Bing, you just got back from a festival this weekend, and I've heard of the Ohio Valley Gathering forever, and I thought it was in Ohio. Turns out it's not.
Well, it moves around from place to place. This time it was in Owensboro, Kentucky, and we had a bit of a road trip. It was Stephen Seifert, Butch Ross, and myself heading up there, and so we'll have some looks around the festival, some of the vendors, different instruments that are being played, musical performances, and some hijinks that happened along the way. That should be very, very interesting. I've also got some footage from the 19th annual NGFDA Fall Festival that took place last year in November.
Unicoi is the way I've always heard.
Unicoi, exactly. And not too long ago, over St. Patrick's Day weekend, I had as a house guest Steve Uhlberg, and so we'll have a nice intimate interview with Steve, and also him performing some of the music that he does on mountain dulcimer. He didn't bring his hammer dulcimers on this particular trip. It wasn't that kind of a show.
So video that I hope to bring to the table pretty quickly is some more stuff from Bob Bedard. There's some video on YouTube already where he's talking about hammer making in particular. But in this, he's talking more about the philosophy of building and how he got started and just what it takes to have a shop. And we got some video from Karen Ashbrook talking about her new DVD or her teaching DVD, which is great. Got a bunch this summer, and hopefully you're coming with us to the Fun Fest up in Michigan.
Yeah, absolutely.
And everyone knows that is Everett, and we'll get some video from that. And we've got Hardwoods, we've got the Chattanooga Dulcimer Festival coming up. We're doing the None Such Festival in England this fall. And again, I know I'm missing some festivals in there that, well, of course, Kentucky Music Week,
Kentucky Music
Halloween,
right?
and we hope to hit all those places as much as we can, but we can't be everywhere. So again, that's why we need you to, I feel like this is a pledge drive. That's why we need you to send in your money. Except, see, this is free. You don't have to send any in.
That's right.
We don't even have a number on the screen, do we?
No.
No?
We should, or an email or something.
Yeah, let's put, see
Like,
that thing
watch this. Poof.
Wow. Look at that.
Isn't that great?
That is amazing.
21st century is a beautiful thing.
Well, we've about used up all of our time. Our goal is to have these things be about 5 minutes. And remember, it won't just be us talking, hopefully, anymore. We want to get right to videos, but we wanted to introduce what we're doing this time. We're committed to doing this for how long, Bing?
At least a year.
Weekly.
Weekly. Every Monday we'll have a new video episode. We're also doing an audio podcast.
That's right.
And so every Monday, that'll be up here on the website.
Significantly longer for the audio podcast, and we'll have music samples and things like that on it. Much like if you've already received your spring DPN, like the cut that's on the CD about hammer demonstrations, it's things like that we're shooting for.
Right.
Yeah. And if you have suggestions, again, contact us. But Bing and I are full of something, if not just ideas. I'm sure we can come up with a lot just on our own. And both of us have sort of been in this business in one way or another for a long time. Actually, I was writing for newspapers when I was in high school.
And you have a broadcasting.
Broadcasting. I managed an NPR station. If I say all the things that I've done, people are going to think I'm just making stuff up. Or I really can't hold a job. and being your other life is video.
That's right. I have a video production company in Orlando, Florida, and I've shot everything from creative music video projects to weddings and 50th anniversary parties. So it's what I do for the main line. I do music for the love. And it's nice to be able to bring the music and the video together in a way like this. And I'm just very, very pleased and blessed to be a part of Dulcimer Players News in this way.
Yeah, thanks for doing this. It's a big venture for both of us. We, right after Angie and I became owners of Dulcimer Players News, we did a couple of podcasts. And then we decided we better learn how to do magazines. And so we sort of put the podcast on hold for a year or so until we felt like we knew what we were doing. And we finally decided that we'll never know what we're doing. We might as well just go ahead with this as well. So thanks for joining us today, and we'll be back again next week.